Today I'm joined by Sam Mullins, who's a media professional and fellow student here at FET College Dhulaigh. Sam, absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for having me, Gavin.
I'd like to start this interview off by asking you to tell us a bit about yourself and your background with Dhulaigh and what that has led you on to do.
Yeah, my name is Sam Mullins. I've been studying in Dhúlaigh for 3 years now, coming up to the end of the top-up degree. And my background is at lighting, so I do a lot of lighting system work and Best Buy work, and I've made a couple of my own shorts.
Unreal. And I understand that you made a short film, Morning, for the Young Irish Film Awards. Can you tell us a bit about that and the kind of support Dhúlaigh has given you to make that?
Yeah, so I made Morning at the start of first year for the festival called Youth Rec. So a friend of mine was organising and said, do you want to put a film in? And so I got the film done, and then I think more so I should have used more college resources to make it, because I shot on my own camera and then ended up being animated. And it was only so I'd won the Ireland heat of that and was going on to Greece. So I said to my tutors, and kind of just get a bit of points, say, oh, look at me, I'm deadly. But they were like, oh, you should have told us about this much earlier. We could have like put some stuff on social media or helped you get a bit of momentum behind it, or like even helped you with the edit, like to give you some criticism on the film, how to make it better. And I really should have availed of that support a bit more because it was there. But no, I still think it was very helpful in what I learned, and then in that first year and going on to make the next couple of projects was really valuable.
Of course. And what kind of supports does Dhúlaigh give in general when you're working with them and when you're trying to get out there?
I think it's really good for helping you build connections and giving you really good practical advice for sets and like how to meet different people in the industry and how to get your foot in the door. I think that the best things I've learned from Dhúlaigh would be like the best practices on set, like who to network with, like who is a good person to be peers with, and who to work for, what projects to work on that'll help you kind of advance your career, and also just how to act on set, like the things that people appreciate and the things that'll get you noticed a bit when you're working. That was the most valuable bit of information that Dhúlaigh gave me, and also the support from the tutors, because the class sizes are a bit smaller, and you kind of get kind of individual encouragement, and like what would be best for you as what would be best for like you as a student to pursue, rather than a big blanket general. This is what student filmmakers should be doing. It's like, no, this is what you should be looking to advance yourself in.
I get what you mean. And you were saying earlier about connections. How important is it to not only kind of work with people that are in your year and kind of working on sets, but when you actually get out into the industry, how important is that kind of networking, I suppose?
I think networking is essential. Like, it's the old adage of it's not what you know, it's who you know. But also, there is a lot of truth to that, but not necessarily in a scary way. Like it's a small group of people working in the film industry. I remember someone telling me the amount of people that graduate film school every year is the amount of people that are currently in the film industry in Ireland. But also, having that small of a community means you don't need to impress as many people as you might think, and also people are much less cutthroat than you'd expect, and they do want you to do a good job, because that makes their life easier, and if you do a good job they want to have you again. Same way if someone does a good job for you, you'd want to work with them again. And people aren't looking to get you down or trick you. Like it's a community. It's not hostile as it might feel going into it.
Get what you mean. And would that be the kind of advice you'd give to newcomers who are attracted to Dhúlaigh and want to kind of get out into that industry? What kind of advice would you give them when it comes to that kind of stuff?
I think the best piece of advice is just whenever you're on set, whenever you're doing, even if it's on a small thing, no budget, you're shooting on a phone, just try your absolute best and work as hard as you possibly can at all times, because it really shows, and you never know what the people around you are going to do or what space you're in, who you're going to impact by doing that well, and where that's going to carry. So I think it's just, yeah, do your best. Every job is important. Everything you're doing is important, and if you really love what you're doing, it'll show, and that kind of passion and work ethic is what will drive you, because you can pick up the little extra skills, but it's the working hard that'll serve you best.
Unreal. Well, thank you so much for coming on the
Thanks so
show.
much, Kevin.
Absolute pleasure to have you.